how would you end being a DJ?
My life is full of uncombinable things, you know. It's just full of strange coincidences, and I don't really know how it was. I was always kind of interested in music, and I was collecting records since I was really little girl, and then I got interested in Detroit techno, Chicago house, and acid house, especially when I was really little. And then, I mean, I had to go to Moscow to continue studying dentistry, and I was a dentist.
Yes.
You know, imagine me in a white dress. I was a real dentist for 3 years, and but nobody knew that I have a side, the different side of me, and that after I finished my dentist job, I go to do interviews like you do now with me. I used to be a journalist with DJs and with musicians, and and I was like kind of. I slowly started to think, but probably I would just like to try myself to be a DJ, and then I started to play Italian 70s underground disco and soundtracks for the movies, and then my first gig happened. I played 3 records. It was really hard techno. It was DJ Hyperactive, Surgeon, and Damon Wild. And I cleared the dance floor completely. There was nobody, like really. It was a super small place. I played 3 records, and when I finished, there was no one, just me. I swear, really, it was no one.
Well, and now it's different.
Yeah, now it's different. I took some time. I learned how to mix. Yes, but I still like techno and I still like acid, and that's kind of what still remained the same since the time that I first tried my gig. That, you know, I think it's pretty important when you fail with something, just something doesn't go really right, and you have a strange moment when maybe sometimes even embarrassing, like I had many years ago. You know, I just played and everybody left. I was like, how come? I played my favorite music from my heart and everybody left. What the hell is going on here? But they left, you know. They didn't like it.
Well, that is the past. Now you have producing.
No, I can play the same records.
And everybody stays.
Everybody like, yeah. That's the thing.
Training because you just wanted to be true to yourself.
Yeah, it was like this because I believe in identity, you know, I believe in something special. I always thought that once you go to the training, it's cool because you can sing, you're prepared, you have a technique. So no matter how many planes you take, how many drinks you got last night, you always can sing because you know the technique and you are prepared. But on the other hand, you might really lose the identity because you would be singing like everyone does. So I thought, I don't want it. So when I produce my music, I almost never do the vocals second time. I'm trying to catch the moment. I believe that the moment has an energy. I believe that the moment has the most magic, mysterious thing. I believe that first emotion that you delivered is the most bright one, exceptional and remarkable. I want to keep it. And if my way of singing wasn't perfect, according to the standards of singing, that's all good. I don't mind. Don't you know? Digital formats versus vinyl versus digital. Guys, I think if you really can deliver what you want to say by playing just by your hands, or I don't know, by imagining something, I don't know, maybe you can play with bananas. It's all good. I'm happy and I don't really mind, honestly. I just don't know how to play other way. I have my vinyls, sometimes I have my CDs, and this is everything that I can do, and this is everything that I know how to do. But I will always be supporting vinyl because it's the most down-to-earth, most sensual object that I could think of when you ask me something about music. You know, I just like to have it in my record box. I like to look at this, I like to smell it, I like to touch it, I like to, you know, just to play with it. And for me, it's just a little bit physical. I I need my vinyls, you know. And actually, if all the clubs in the world would be providing the perfect sound system that I can play my vinyls, actually, if you know what I'm saying, I would play only vinyls. But unfortunately, there are not many clubs left where you can do that these days. I mean, in terms of writing an album. And definitely now I'm totally different, or at least much different than I used to be. But what I want to share with people, I want to share some territory that we might have together by listening to the same music and to the same harmonies. I would say by searching for the same harmonies in life. Because I guess when people like a song, let's say when 10 people like the same song, they are definitely connected to each other. It's a totally amazing and incredible thing, the connecting power of the music. People could be really different from the different backgrounds, but by listening to one song, they are all sharing the same room. And just, you know, we are lonely. All of us are really lonely. I'm a very lonely person, and I sometimes have this times when I understand that basically I'm alone. I have I have parents, I have family, I have friends, but this loneliness that you feel sometimes, it just strikes you so deep that you are astonished by this, you know, like really, like is it like this? But then I think for people like me, this idea that you can make something which will be making this, you know, bridge in between me and others shorter, this is just incredible, you know, when you just do something and people appreciate it, and we are just happen to be in the same territory, in the same room, and we are just all together, and the song is finished, the concert is over, and we are just totally apart, tearing apart again. This is just the magic of this thing. I think it's really like a drug. You know, like when you perform or when you produce something and people enjoy, you really like, you're addicted to that feeling of that you are not alone. It's a very elusive thing, but it is there. So let's be together, let's come together right now. You know, I think that's what I
just a way to get, you have to free yourself.
Electronic music, this is how it inspired you. Is that true? And if so, tell us.
That is correct, yeah. Since maybe 1996, I was interested in electronic music. And back in my home city of Irkutsk, I was listening to the radio show. And then I moved to Moscow, and my life has changed, of course. I started dental university.
Did you finish?
Yes, I did. I worked as a dentist for 3 years. So I'm a certified dentist, yes. But I was always at the same time interested in electronic music. Digging through records, especially to the second-hand records, when you don't really see what's inside the box, you just take 1, 2, 3 hours for yourself and just go in some box that has no order of tracks, no tapes, no tags, nothing. Just an untouched box of records from some warehouse. And the only reference that you might have is how much the music you listen resonates with your personality, with your core. And I could spend hours doing that. So for me, I've been a dentist for some time, and I've been doing partly like music journalism. So I was doing interviews like you do now, and I was really enjoying this. And I've been meeting lots of interesting people, artists, and it's been so inspiring. And since I first discovered electronic music and my favorite artists, I've been following all this. It was pretty exciting to me. I was always carrying this, I think, subconscious idea that at some point I probably also could stand behind decks and just deliver something that I feel, something that I really want people to know about.
On We Kids. And even if appearances are deceiving, for Nina it is in fact imperfection that she finds the most interesting.
I think the world is not perfect, first of all. I'm not perfect. Nothing is perfect. And when it's perfect, it's boring. I like something which is not going right completely, some 2-3% of imperfection. When you want to kind of change it, but then you think, oh no, it's all fine. Why don't we just go on with it? So basically, perfect imperfections are one of my favorite parts in the whole music thing. I don't like clean sounds. I don't like when everything sounds so clear, so beautiful, and so kind of 100% right that I kind of think, well, okay, good. Stop. No, the taxi. Around it. Just have to.
Her success hasn't been without its challenges. In 2013, she fought back against attitudes towards her in the industry, calling for the death of sexism. But she says she doesn't want women to have special treatment, but for people to focus on the talent, not the gender of the artist.
With what I'm doing, I support talented people of all sorts. I find this very weird to be wanting to support someone just being. I think it's some kind of reversed form of sexism. You know, when you support only some groups of people, just solely because not only based on their talent, but you know, it's kind of. And what about some young boys that are not, you know, getting all those extra support, but really talented? I mean, I would like it to be fair as well, you know. I would just like to support talented people. And also I think sometimes some challenge for poor people, it's not that of a bad thing either. You know, I've been challenged a lot in my professional life. It's not being always easy, as you might assume. To be an artist and to be a successful artist requires a lot of effort. A lot of effort.
Your horizon widens. You see more things that you haven't been even wouldn't think it even existed. You know.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what has been happening. But the interesting point, just to round my long introduction, I think in terms of texture. And in terms of the feeling, you know, behind music, my music hasn't changed. I could still play the same records that I was playing 10 years ago or 5 years ago, and I would totally find them a place in the right context.
Yeah.
So, for me, the music is just a continuum that where the genres and generations coexist, and where the notion of time doesn't really exist either. It's just somewhere there in the back of your mind that there is this big time gaps in between this genre and the other, and probably the people that are in front of you, they are not aware of the tune that you just dropped, which was rightfully because it was made 30 years ago. But it feels amazing, and I feel like it's all connected, you know, and it feels like the time doesn't exist at this particular moment, and I'm able to, like a time machine, you know, like to connect all these interesting points together.
How do you think you've grown as a person since when you started?
Pretty much the same as with my musical improvement. There's definitely always emotion somewhere towards something. There is this sensation that something is happening, and there's a sensation of the path being taken. But like I said, with my music and my personality, I could still feel that the core of my personality, or my music, with my musical taste, or what I feel, or how I was able to make choices when it comes to music. It's just based on this yes/no idea. Is it my thing? Yeah, it's my idea. Why? I don't really know why, but it just this music is unpolished. It's kind of a little bit unfinished. It leaves room for you to add something of your own in it, which is important, especially for a DJ that makes all those songs sound coherent. And it's important that songs are not oversaturated with an idea or with some sound. You can actually blend them in between together and in between each other, and the outcome would be still harmonically beautiful,
Yeah.
So it's like it's still me, still my core. It has not changed one dime, an inch, or a centimeter, depending on the metrical system. We have centimeters and meters, and we have different things. You have feet. Yes, I still have sometimes trouble to calculate. How many of also Fahrenheit and Celsius, but that's okay. So I have definitely changed, which is a normal thing.
Would you say you're...
That would be really weird, the person wouldn't change throughout his life. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like I'm being me.
Yeah.
Which is just great.
Yeah.
Which is really amazing. That you just do your life choices, and you grow, and you want to become a better person, a better version of yourself on a daily basis. Constantly you're hungry for some new things, some knowledge.
Yeah.
You keep discover and rediscover things, and it feels wonderful when all those things align and you feel comfortable and balanced. I'm Libra. I was born in October. Please don't think that I'm in that kind of astrological. No, not at all. I just know. Sometimes it's interesting because I'm Libra, and Libras are always a little struggling with finding the right balance.
Would you say you're religious?
Yeah, I'm not religious, but I believe in God. I believe in the idea that there is something out there that is bigger than you, that everything you do, and it's a great grounding mechanism that keeps you sane, I think, in your mind, because it's very difficult for a person to manage his own world.
Yeah.
And many people are actually not that successful in it. I think that's the biggest achievement that a person could have, is that actually to get to know yourself well, and to be to find friendship with your own, and to feel comfortable in your own body, and to feel everything you do, and being able to be honest with yourself and your own decision, but at the same time accepting how you are, and I'm not saying accepting like not moving anywhere and not changing things that obviously needs to be improved, not at all, but just talking about some kind of healthy relationship, some kind of a healthy growth that's happening inside of a healthy individual.
What does love mean to you?
Love is everything. That's the most important thing. I think without the idea of love, the notion of it, it's just an existence. I think through love, people are really realizing or releasing the true meaning of being a human being.